Wouldn't they
Okay,
be
hold
happy?
on, hold on. I got it. I'm getting
Rage, Pauline, let it out. Let it out.
Well, here we go. Rage over Ana de Armas' Blonde nomination and Viola Davis snub. There you go. There you go.
Why though? Like,
I just, but, go ahead, Lady B. You
I
probably
just don't understand it. I mean, it's like I've heard that, like, okay, the reason people don't seem to like Blonde is because it's a difficult movie to watch. There's a little bit of an exploitive angle with like some of the sex scenes. But I've heard people that said despite that, it's a decent movie and a good performance. I have not heard anything good about The Woman King. Like, people are just like, this is a horrible story to tell. They're trying to elevate these people that were awful people to other black people, and just because they're black women and it's like this Woman King idea, that's why it's there. And it's like, I agree. Like, if you want to elevate black people and put a spotlight on something, that's probably not the thing you want to highlight. So but I haven't heard anything like good about the movie otherwise. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know.
and
Mags?
and to be quite honest, if they want to have stories about Africa and everything, there's all these mythologies that we have yet to explore in terms of putting it on screen, that are beautiful, wonderful stories that could just bring to light. And it's just why are they so harped up on the Woman King? And it make it does make you wonder what their frustration is about on it. But if it's not, it wasn't a great movie. Not a lot of people liked it. It's just, I have not heard, like, same thing with Lady B. I did not hear good things about it. I did not hear about anything good about the performance. In fact, I remember seeing things on Twitter where people were like, because beforehand they're thinking, oh, it's just whatever, empowerment, what have you. And then when they saw it and they left, they were like, wait, what? This is what this is about. On back in that day.
Let's read a little bit of this. Straight away, there seems to be a consensus on social media concerning one nominee, Viola Davis and Danielle Deadwyler, should have been nominated for Best Actress over Ana de Armas. Whoever they is have made this now a black versus a Latino thing, and I find that completely disgusting.
Yes. I mean, what is it?
These are the highest of the highest, right? Of the year. This is who the actors nominate. Like, this is the best performances. And yes, it's a political game. It's a popularity game, as is the case with that Andrea nomination. We'll get to that in a minute. But clearly, this is not a shock. Ana de Armas, since it was mentioned, since it was announced that she's playing and doing all these things to become Marilyn Monroe, Oscars, she's going to get the Oscar. She's going to get the Oscar. First clip, she's going to get the Oscar. First trailer, she's going to. Mags knows I was been covering this stuff. This is not new. This is not like a shocker. The shocker would have been if Viola Davis got nominated for The Woman King, which nobody saw, which was, I heard it was a good action film, but it's an action film, and that's it. It's very rare that any person that gets an action film, when was the last one? Gladiator for Best Actor? That's the last one. Gandalf? We're going back 20 years. Braveheart? It's very rare now. Horror never happens. All right. So it's one thing for social media to pick up on it, but now other celebs have picked on Whoopi Goldberg. The Teal Foundation has spoken out that they can't believe they didn't get any nominations. Guys, stop it. Stop it. And they're talking about the black erasure of women and upholding whiteness.
I'm like, okay, let's look at. I was gonna mention that. Go for it.
One more thing. In regards to the Academy, for the last few years, they've been working their asses off to make it a more, lack of better words, a more diverse Academy. Which, honestly, it's been time, which has its pros and cons. So what are you complaining about? That diverse group of actors, that's who they voted for. No, it
Yep.
wasn't just white people voting for white people. So I don't understand where you're coming with this. Plus, the quality of this year here, if did we just forget that a wealth of Asian actors just got nominated? I
Yeah, I was
mean,
just gonna say, it's like, can we talk about all these other people? There's
right.
like,
So when you do this oppression Olympics, everyone loses.
Yep.
Nobody wins. So, ladies, what do you have to say?
I was just
Sorry.
gonna say, yeah, why aren't they happy? It's like, you got Michelle Yeoh. Like, if you're gonna get angry at something, be angry because Michelle Williams is nominated yet again, and I think she is not a great actress, and I don't know why she keeps getting nominated. But hey, we're cool. But I mean, look at it. It's like you got a Hispanic person, you got I think Michelle Yeoh's like Chinese, right?
Yeah,
Or
Asian,
yeah,
Chinese,
she's
Asian.
like Asian.
She's awesome. I love Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, and it's like, what do you want? And then there's what's her name from like Black Panther is like nominated. I mean,
Angela Bassett.
Best supporting actress, Angela
yeah.
Bassett.
And then
And
there's a lot of
but then really quick, you
Yeah.
get Kate Blanchett, one of the greatest actors of our generation. I mean, if anything, you should be complaining about how Andrea Riseborough got nominated, which she made calls to Amy Adams, her buddies, Gwyneth Paltrow, and they got her to be nominated. I don't like that.
No, I don't.
Not
yeah,
at all.
that's not cool.
Because I'm like, who, where, what? And then when I ask some of my critical film critic friends who are female, hey, they're saying this is the best performance was from Andrea. And they're like, no. It's like, all right.
It's like what both of y'all have said. It's, they've pushed for and campaigned for and wanted diversity in this space, and they've gotten it. But now it's more like, well, it's not my version of diversity, so it's kind of that perspective of like the whole, my truth, my version of it, my narrative, and everything else. And I'm thinking, if you're going to be fighting for diversity, you better be consistent in what your logic is and what you're fighting for. Are you fighting for you selfishly for yourself, or you're fighting for everybody?
Or what about diversity of thought or diversity of genre? I mean, one thing that I noticed,
I
because
agree
I've
with
been
that
out of the
too.
loop with this, is like this is like every single category. It's like the same 4 movies. I was really surprised at the lack of different movies, and I'm just like, this is horrible.
It's going to be boring. It's going to be utterly boring, and the Academy needs to understand that they are losing ratings. They are falling in the ratings as it is, and they can't just be, for lack of a better term, circle jerking each other on this one. And they need to highlight actual, there's been a diverse stuff going, like RRR. I know Chris Score talks about RRR. Everybody takes a shot.
Can we talk about Triple R nominated for best song? That's awesome.
And it's for me.
Let's go.
For me, it's like, why weren't they considered, part of the? It's I don't know. I guess for me, it's like it's everybody is like me and all of this. It's I'm going to fight for diversity, except when it's my turn to have the spotlight. And whatever happened to looking at quality of merit and everything else in between. And
but that's what the Academy has done.
Yeah,
is that these are, except for that one Andrea, these are, and that's a good argument. These are high level performances. Who cares where they're from, what their background is? That's just what you got this year, right? And like I said, you got a shitload of Asian great performances from people who happen to be Asian.
Yep.
In this year,
and I mean, how bad is it?
The thing is too, you're not. It's this is the Academy Awards. Movies that represent. I don't know. You guys know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Robbing Deadweiler. She didn't rob nobody.
What is Deadweiler? What was her performance in?
Till.
So my question is, why are they making it so personal? I mean, they're making it personal about, again, that's why I said it's a me personal, like it's like a personal attack on them. And it's like, stop, you need to separate that from the content and the content of character, content of media, content of everything versus yourself. And it's just, they don't know how to separate this between the two. It's just, so it's a personal attack on you. I don't understand. That's so weird. I mean, of course, we're all coming from that same perspective. It's like, huh? What is going on?
This one's pretty rough right here, guys. People going to be hating on Andrew Riceborough for taking Viola Davis or Danielle Deadweiler's nomination when the real enemy is Ana de Armas. Mind you, guys, we're talking about actors playing people in a movie that you see on the screen.
So is this like a team sport thing where it's like you're trying to pit like your actors and actresses against each other and just be like, hey, she's my enemy now, grr. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? I mean, do you not have nothing better to do?
Well, again,
it's so silly. It's like, by not getting nominated, it's like some attack on all Black women. I mean, gosh, do you know how silly that sounds?
Yeah, it does. It is very silly.
And there's even that LA Times article that I sent you guys, where it's like the continued attack of the Black female actor, but they do talk about the system, and it's like, well, and they do mention in the article that the system is full of progressives. So there you go. You only got your. If you're gonna do any of this blaming, and it's just all silly, but that's what happens when you go in deep with identity politics. It just gets out of control, guys.
As we say, it's almost like woke on woke crime. Like, okay, so what's and they can't define what their perfect woke is because they're so personally embedded with all.
It was like watching the end of Witcher Blood Origins because they're so invested with the hierarchy of oppression that you have the white colonizer empress lady. She imprisons the evil Black sorcerer guy, but she has to do that because she's a white colonizer. But this guy is bad too, so they like try to make him look like he's a victim of her. And then it's like they have like this certain people will die, but it's all by their oppressive like thing. It's so silly. And when I look into this thing, look at these award things, and this is just something that happened to me as a like professional race car driver. It's like this idea of equality versus equity. It's like equity as equal or just equal outcomes for everyone. And it's like, how would you like to be like a Black actor or actress or whatever, and you're just nominated because they need to have like a Black actor? Like, is that gonna make you feel good about your performance, just saying like, I deserve to be here? And I like totally felt like that as one of the few female drivers. It's like, am I here because I'm good, or are they here because they just need a woman to be here? And it can really mess with your head, and you're like, am I really accomplishing something good, or is this just like, am I just like the token that they need?
Well, then the easy argument is that, well, we're just upholding whiteness. It's like, okay, man.